What is your passion? What is the thing that drives you? To have life is to have motivation. And to truly live life, you must chase your passions. Are you chasing yours? My father did. My father was and still is an amazing artist. Art school, college, even a stable business at a time. He's always taught me so much. My father shaped my love for art, my outlook on the craft, and even some of the skills that I use in my artwork to this day. His use of line work, his use of shape, has always bring the best out of a piece. But even with all this, he quit. It stuck with me throughout my entire life. All that skill, and he never did anything with it growing up. In my eyes, he settled. And the truth is, many people do it all the time in their life, whether they know it or not. I spent time surveying adults in my life, asking them questions like, what is your passion? What is the thing that drives you? And are you chasing this? I got answers back like an architect, a business owner, a teacher, a future president, an artist. All things that were stated as passions, all things that were never pursued, for one reason: the idea of stability and safety. I know a lot of you guys might relate to that. The truth is, though many people choose stability over their passion, there's a phenomenon behind it. Though my father didn't pursue art, he never failed to teach me, showing his love for art through his observation of the world and of my life. His critique of my art brought me so far. He allowed me to develop my art. With his help, he provided a space for me to not only develop my craft, he gave me a deeper appreciation for the work that went into it, but also a deeper realization of my surroundings. My father was an immigrant. My father was an immigrant with a wife and child. My father was an immigrant with my mother and my older sister. My father was an immigrant who didn't have the luxury available to work to just pursue his art career. Instead, he had to be stable. He had to be somebody that could be a stability source for everybody around him. It wasn't something that he could just abandon and push for his art. I used my understanding of my father to shape my belief in the world, pushing my actions further and further. I used my belief on him to push myself out my comfort zone. As Isaac stated, I'm an amazing artist, I'm a cook, I'm a business owner, I'm many other things, and that's all a part of my identity. But in my search of that, I lost sight of something important: my academics. I was lost in school. I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. And with that, I turned to a teacher, a safe space. His name is Mr. Malcolm. He is my biology teacher, or was. He's a middle-aged man with so much life experience that it just flows out of him all the time. And one day, he allowed me to not only discuss my passions, my focuses, where I was in school, and how to move forward, but he also allowed me to reshape my thinking of what I previously thought common jobs were. And it was in one of my many talks with him that he introduced me to the idea of becoming a teacher, something that I previously never considered. I believe that it was a common job. It was something that you wouldn't do if it wasn't a last resort, which is crazy to think about. But it was with his help that I was able to restructure my thinking. It was in this clarity, in this understanding of the idea of becoming a teacher, that I found clarity from my father. In the same way that I thought of teaching as a way to further my identity, to allow a different facet of myself to be evolved, it was the same way that he allowed himself to be evolved. He allowed himself, the person, the teacher, the artist, the business owner, to become something more in himself. He became the father, the source of stability, a structure at home. He is someone that is very important to me and many others. It was in one of my many talks with Mr. Malcolm, that we discussed the idea of me being a teacher. I realized that becoming a teacher would never mean that I'm abandoning my passion. You can be a cook, you can be an artist, you can be an accountant, you can be anything and still be a teacher. You can be anything you want to be and still be something else. There are multiple facets to your identity. I believe that while it is still important to chase your passion, it is also important to understand that not everybody has the luxury of doing so. You have your passion, but you must need stability. But in your search for stability, please make sure that you're not discarding what you're passionate for in return. Please look around and look at yourself and make sure that what you're doing today isn't something just being done for the sake of being stable, but make sure that it's something being done because you want it to. Thank you.